First off, I just want to say I don't have any problem with Wilson Cruz. I had a brief interaction with him a little while ago. I made some comments about Senator Martin Green, and he made it racial and then threatened me and blocked me. But I don't have any problems with him in general. I respect what he's done for the community, and I just want to say that first. Hello, Steve White, Trekboy89 for Steve Arts89. Well, we've got a little bit of news about Star Trek Day. Apparently someone made a homophobic slur against Wilson Cruz during the live event. Now, I find this quite shocking. Like, what sort of an idiot would say something like that at a live event, being streamed live in front of everyone? Now, unfortunately, because this person is gutless, they said it as he was walking up to the stage. So he didn't see who said it, he only heard it. So he couldn't, point the person out and have them kicked out. So, and the person, they didn't say it loud enough, obviously, for it to register on the live broadcast, so streaming. So they kind of got away with it. And Cruz just sat down and he sort of thought, well, I don't know who said it. I can't identify them. I can't tell who it was. So he just let it go and I'm just going to focus on the positivity of the event and let it go. But he did tweet out later that it happened. There was a picture of himself seated saying, maybe this was the moment I heard someone make a homophobic slur about me during the broadcast. And it's blown up. Everyone's gotten quite annoyed and upset about it. And he's like, I probably shouldn't have said anything because it's been blown out of proportion. And I didn't want it to, take precedent over the event itself and take attention away from the overall message of the event of diversity, inclusion, and representation, and equality, and utopian future and everything, and Gene's vision and all that. He didn't want it to detract from any of that, but it has. So he should have just said nothing. He should have known better, but he did, because he's a bit militant. Now, I can acknowledge as a gay man, I've had my periods of militant, not protesting, I don't know what you call it, but we can be a bit like that. It's hard not to when you're part of a minority that's being, persecuted and so forth. So, yeah, but yeah, he put it up on Twitter and now it's a thing. And like I said, I'm not totally surprised. I mean, there was only 200 invited guests there. So out of the 200 invited guests, one of them was a homophobic enough to actually call the man something, because he didn't say what they said, in public during a live stream broadcast. That's fairly shocking to that extent. Now, I know there's a lot of homophobic fans in the Star Trek fandom. I remember when George Takei came out, there were people saying stuff all over the place. I remember being on trekmovie.com and me and other gay people were defending George against homophobic comments. And then, I won't mention who, he's still there, but one of the Trek movie people there actually removed our post and left the homophobic slurs up because apparently they felt that George shouldn't be being out, that it was bad for Star Trek because they're homophobic, but I won't say who did that. I have in other videos if you want to go back and look. He's still working there, and somehow, I don't know how he hasn't been cancelled because he's homophobic. Trekmovie.com. But yeah, I'm not surprised because there are homophobic people in the fandom, and somehow, and a lot of those people are very narcissistic, they somehow think that the Star Trek universe is the way they think it would be, not how it actually is or how it's depicted. So, and a lot of people, for example, people like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, who are very pro-war and alt-right, they can read that as all being, their future, how they see the future. It would be gritty and dark, there'd be religion, there'd be war, and people killing people and justifying it, and saying the ends justify the means, like Cisco did. So that's how people like this end up being in the fandom. And even Discovery as well has a lot of bizarre alt-right sort of leanings that they don't realise are there, because they're actually trying to be really left, but they still manage to pander to some other things without, I don't think they realise they're doing it, or perhaps they're being manipulated by someone on the inside with the scripting and that, but I don't know. That's a whole nother video I'm going to eventually do. I have to go through and rewatch some episodes to get some things right in that. But I'm not totally surprised. I'm a little bit surprised that they did it where they did it and how they did it. And you'd think out of 200 invited guests that they could manage to not have any homophobic people there. But apparently, out of that very select group, maybe it was, I'm thinking maybe it was media, but I don't think they would have been seated and watching. They would have been, on the sides recording or something. So it's kind of surprising because Mary Chafo, I think that was the Klingon lady, she came out. Wilson knew she was gay but didn't know if she was publicly out, so they had a little moment on the red carpet, and it was a pretty gay event. Discovery apparently has 8 gay cast members. I didn't realise there were that many, but that's not just permanent, crew. That's like returning guests and stuff like that. So it's pretty gay, and that's good. I wish the original canon Star Trek could have had some more gay in it, because New Trek is a separate thing, different universe. But that ship has sailed. But yeah, I'm a bit surprised that it happened, how it happened. Not that there's homophobic people in the Star Trek fan base, because I know they're there. I see them all the time. I got kicked out of a couple of Discovery hating groups because I would criticise people for being homophobic or racist who were there, and I was just saying to them, look, it's about the issues with Discovery, and people like you just undermine the real arguments against the actual thing, and I got kicked out because I wasn't alt-right, so... But I'm still here. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I'm going to go. Bye.